Ladies, let me tell you something that I've seen too many times, and I got to say it plain. Stop giving white privileges to a man who hasn't even earned the title of your man, let alone your husband. That's right. See, too many women are out here doing everything for a man, cooking for him, cleaning his apartment, washing his drawers, handling his stress like a therapist, being available every time he calls, giving him all the love, the support, the body, the soul, the attention. And yet, what is he doing in return? He's showing up when he feels like it, calling you his friend, maybe his girl if you're lucky, but he's not putting in any real effort. He hasn't given you commitment, but you've given him everything. Now, let me ask you, why would a man put in work for a full-time commitment when he's getting all the benefits on a part-time plan? It's like this: when you walk into a car dealership and the salesman lets you drive the car around for a whole year, no payments, no insurance, no responsibilities, would you go back and buy that car at full price after that? No. Why would you? You already got everything you needed. And that's how some of these fellows are moving. They get comfortable, real cozy, because they know they don't have to earn you. You're already doing everything for them. I'm not saying don't love your man, don't be kind or giving. I'm saying know your role in the season you're in. If you're dating, that's the getting to know you phase. That's the let me see who you really are before I invest everything in you phase. But what's happening now is women are giving everything up front like it's a clearance sale. No standards, no expectations. Just hoping that if they give enough, love hard enough, support strong enough, that the man will turn around and say, dang, she's the one, let me wife her up. But let me be real, that's not how it works with most men. A man doesn't commit because of what you do for him. A man commits when he respects you, when he admires your standards, when he sees that you ain't like the rest. You don't move like you're desperate. You move like you know you're the prize. And that's the key. Because when a man sees that you require effort, that you're not just giving everything away without a title, without consistency, without growth, that's when he steps up. A man has to feel like he's earning something valuable. It has to cost him time, attention, discipline, and investment. If it doesn't cost him anything, it won't mean anything to him. Now let me hit you with this. Love ain't a game, but it is an exchange. You bring value and he should bring value too. If it's one-sided, if you're pouring and he's just sitting there drinking, that ain't a partnership. That's a drain. And sooner or later, you're going to feel empty, unappreciated, resentful. And that's not because you weren't enough. It's because you gave everything to someone who hadn't proven he was worthy of it. Let the man show up for you. Let him court you. Let him pursue you. Make him work to understand your heart, not just gain access to your body or your kindness. Because when a man really sees your value, he's going to want to step up. He's going to want to give you his best. But if he can do the bare minimum and still get maximum benefits, most men, not all, but most, will stay right there in that comfort zone. And why wouldn't they? So ladies, I'm telling you, don't set yourself up to be disappointed by giving husband-level effort to someone who's barely giving you boyfriend-level consistency. You're not a free trial, you're a lifetime subscription, and that kind of access needs to be earned. Ladies, listen to me real close on this one, because this right here, this one hurts too many good women. Never, ever lose yourself trying to keep a man. Now, I know love can feel powerful. It'll have you smiling, glowing, dreaming big. But love, real love, should never require you to become less of who you are just to keep it. And that's what I see happening all the time. Women who used to be confident, radiant, independent, bold, slowly dimming their light to keep a man comfortable. I've seen it. She used to chase her goals, hit the gym, run her business, spend time with her friends, but now she's rearranged her entire life around him. She doesn't go out anymore unless he says it's cool. She doesn't post that selfie because he might think it's too much. She's quiet when he talks over her. She laughs at things that ain't funny. She makes herself smaller, all just to avoid conflict, all just to keep the peace, all just to keep him. But let me tell you something. If you have to shrink to fit into a man's life, that ain't your man. That's your cage. A real man, a grown man, a man who's ready for a woman like you, he will not be threatened by your strength. He will not be bothered by your ambition. He won't feel insecure when you shine. In fact, he'll be right there pushing you to shine brighter. He'll be your biggest fan, not your silent critic. See, too many women are taught that being ride or die means putting yourself last. But baby, what good is riding for someone if you lose yourself in the process? That ain't love. That's sacrifice, and not the healthy kind. That's giving up who you are just so someone else doesn't leave. And when you operate from fear, fear of being alone, fear of being abandoned, fear of starting over, you end up accepting things you were never meant to tolerate. You were not put on this earth to complete somebody else. You are already whole. You were not born to live in the background of your own story while some man stands in the spotlight. You don't have to give up your dreams, your peace, or your identity to prove you're loyal. Let me tell you something. The right man doesn't need you to prove anything. He'll see who you are and respect it. He'll protect it. He'll add to your life, not take away from it. But if you make him the mission and forget your own purpose, you're setting yourself up for a heartbreak far worse than a breakup. The heartbreak of looking in the mirror one day and not recognizing the woman staring back at you. That's the real loss. And here's the kicker. If a man only stays with you because you twisted yourself into someone you're not, you'll never feel secure in that relationship anyway. Because deep down, you'll always be scared that the real you, the one you buried, might scare him off. But the truth is, if the real you scares him, let him go. He was never meant to stay. So don't water yourself down just to be easier to swallow. Don't edit your personality, mute your laughter, or lower your standards just so you can say you have somebody. Being single and full of yourself is better than being in a relationship where you're only half alive. Baby girl, keep your fire, keep your voice, keep your magic, and I promise, the man who's meant for you, he won't just let you be yourself. He'll thank God every day that you are. So let me tell you something that might be hard to hear, but you need to hear it. Never stay with a man after a repeated disrespect. Now, I'm not talking about little misunderstandings. I'm not saying end it over every argument or mistake. We're all human. We slip up, we say things we don't mean sometimes. But there's a big difference between a man who makes a mistake and a man who makes a habit of disrespecting you. And too many women are out here tolerating patterns they should have shut down the first time. Let's be real. The first time he lies, you feel it in your gut, but you let it slide. The first time he raises his voice at you in a way that don't feel like love, you're shocked, but you convince yourself it was stress. The first time he goes ghost, comes back with a weak excuse, and you take him back, that's when the game starts. Because here's what happens. Every time you ignore your gut, you teach him how to treat you. Every time you stay after the disrespect, he learns there are no consequences. You don't even have to say it. Your actions tell him, hey, you can lie to me and I'll still be here. You can cheat and I'll forgive you again. You can raise your voice curse me out, disappear for days, and I'll still pick up when you call. That's not love. That's emotional training. And guess what? You're the one being trained to accept crumbs, trained to silence your own standards just to keep him from leaving. But let me ask you this. Why are you trying so hard to keep someone who keeps hurting you? You're loving someone who keeps showing you over and over that he doesn't respect you. And I'm going to say it clear, if a man doesn't respect you, he can't love you properly, period. Love without respect ain't love. It's possession, it's convenience, it's control. And you're not someone's emotional punching bag, therapist, or second chance over and over and over again. You are a woman. You are a queen. You deserve respect at the bare minimum. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but he's been through a lot. He's got a good heart. We've got history. He's trying. I hear all of that, but let me be real with you. A man's pain is never a past to cause yours. His potential is not your problem. His trauma is not your responsibility to fix, especially not the cost of your mental peace and emotional safety. If he really wants to change, he'll do the work, not just say the words. And while he's figuring himself out, you have every right to protect yourself. You have every right to leave. See, staying with a man who repeatedly disrespects you doesn't heal him, it breaks you. It chips away at your self-esteem, makes you question your worth, and over time, you forget who you were before the relationship even started. You start thinking maybe it's you. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe if you change this or that, things will get better. But that's how disrespect works. It gets you to the point where you start doubting your own reality. So, let me remind you of this. You don't have to stay just because you love him. You don't have to stay because of time invested. You don't have to stay because you're afraid to start over. You are not stuck. You are not too late, and you are not too broken to choose peace. Walk away from what wounds you. Walk away from repeated lies, from constant manipulation, from emotional neglect, from disrespect disguised as just how I am. That's not love, that's survival, and you deserve better. And I promise you, when you finally close the door on what disrespects you, you make space for what will honor you. A man who respects you won't make you beg for honesty. He won't make you guess how he feels. He won't tear you down with words or actions and call it passion. He'll protect your heart, not break it like it's nothing. So stand up, take your dignity with you, and never, ever apologize for leaving a place where you were not being loved right. Because your heart is a treasure, not a test. And it's about time someone earned it the right way. Ladies, let's have a real talk. A heart to heart. You are not his mother. Now listen, I say this with love because I know a lot of you are natural nurturers. It's in your heart. You see a man struggling, and your instinct is to help, to fix, to love him harder. And before you know it, you've stepped into a role that's got you emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and spiritually running on fumes. But I'm going to tell you straight, you can't raise a man. That job already passed. That was for his mama. And if she didn't do it, it's not yours to finish. See, I see it all the time. A woman meets a man who's charming, maybe even got potential, but he's messy, inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, doesn't manage his money, doesn't handle responsibility. And what do? You step in. You start reminding him of his appointments, cleaning up behind him, applying for jobs for him, checking his attitude, defending his behavior to your friends and family, all while hoping that one day he's going to grow into the man you know he can be. But here's the truth. If he can lean on you like a mother, he'll never learn to stand like a man. You cook, you clean, you cover for him, you comfort him, you even correct him. And now you've become the manager of his life instead of his partner. Let me ask you something. When did love become babysitting? You should not be in a relationship where you're more parent than partner. That ain't sexy, that ain't romantic, that's stressful, that's backwards. And I promise you, a real man doesn't want a mother in his woman. He wants a woman who walks beside him, not one that's dragging him along. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, but he needs me. If I don't help him, he'll fall apart. And maybe that's true. But guess what? That's not your burden. A relationship should not require you to carry two people's weight while he just coasts. If he can't step up and handle his own business, how is he ever going to support you when you need him? Some of you are out here dating potential, building a man from the ground up like he's a DIY project. But this ain't HGTV. You are not Bob the Builder. You're not supposed to be in a relationship where you're constantly pouring and he's just receiving. Because you know what happens? The well runs dry. And now you're burned out, feeling unappreciated, taken for granted, wondering why you feel more like a maid and a therapist than a girlfriend or wife. Let me tell you something. A grown man doesn't need a mama. He needs accountability. He needs to want to grow for himself, not because you're pushing him every day like he's a child. A real man is going to come to the table with purpose, with drive, with a plan. And if he doesn't have it yet, he's going to find it without leaning on you to do the hard work for him. You deserve someone who brings balance to your life, not more burdens. Someone who adds to your peace, not constantly disturbs it. Someone who stands with you, not beneath you while you try to lift him. So stop playing mama. Stop enabling grown boy behavior. Stop trying to earn love by overextending yourself. You're not his life coach, you're his woman. Or at least you should be. And if he can't handle a relationship without needing you to constantly rescue or remind him how to be a man, then baby, he's not ready for a relationship. He needs time to grow on his own. And that's okay. Let him do that. But you go where you're treated like a queen, not where you have to act like a mama just to feel needed. And here's the part a lot of women struggle with. You think if you don't do it, no one will. You think, if I don't remind him to get his life together, he'll fall apart. If I don't encourage him, he'll give up. If I don't take care of everything, the whole relationship will collapse. And that might be true, but baby, if the whole relationship depends on you doing all the work, then you're not in a relationship, you're in a rescue mission. And the more you save him, the less he has to save himself. Let me break this down for you. A grown man doesn't need someone chasing him around like a child trying to clean up his mess. He doesn't need someone fixing all his bad decisions. What he needs, if he's serious about being a man, is someone who holds him accountable, not someone who carries him. You want to know what a healthy man does? He takes responsibility. He manages his time, his money, his attitude, and his energy. He doesn't wait on you to motivate him like you're some motivational speaker he needs every morning. He motivates himself because he knows you deserve a man who's ready, not someone who's hoping to get it together on your dime, your time, and your spirit. You weren't created to be somebody's crutch. You were made to be a crown. And the right man, he won't ask you to parent him. He'll meet you at your level and walk with you as your equal.